If you don't have the attitude, skills, and plan to protect yourself against an armed attacker, your best bet's probably compliance. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson out of Sacramento, California. This is actually two videos that are part of a spate of attacks on the Asian community in Sacramento. Gonna learn some important lessons here about, the fact that if you don't have attitude, skills, and plan, that compliance is probably your best bet. We're gonna learn here about transitional spaces, about what to fight for and when, and the real dangers that you might face. In the first incident, this woman is trying to get into her house and she's trying to, use the key on the locks, what it looks like to me. And these two guys just come up behind her. They're, kind of trolling the street and they grab a hold of her. They don't look armed. I don't think they need to. And they grab her stuff, go read the news story. They run off with it. Second one here, it's another attack in the same neighborhood. This woman comes home and she's parked in her driveway. And as she comes around, you can see the guy here that's walking down the sidewalk. And as she goes to get stuff out of the passenger seat, he just comes up off the sidewalk and pulls a gun on her. Now, again, if you go look at the news story on this one, she doesn't speak good English at all, and she said she didn't understand what he was looking for. So he grabs the keys to her car, and he's trying to get into her car, and she doesn't know what he's after, but he won't let her leave. But he won't get out of her way either, and so you could see a muzzle stroker there with the muzzle of the gun, finally gets in the car, gets her purse, and just casually walks off. There's a couple of important lessons I want to work on this one. The first one, of course, being transitional spaces. Anywhere you're going in and out of the house, in and out of the garage, whatever is a transitional space, and you got to be aware of what's going on around you. Secondly is the ambush. This woman was subject to the ambush here, and surviving that's the key to a defensive encounter, and we're going to see it here with this woman as well. You can see here as she's going to get out of the car, do you notice that she notices him? You can see her look over her right shoulder there, that she sees this guy coming, so it's not really a situational awareness issue, but it is an issue of proper response to a potential threat. Notice it's 11:30 at night in the upper right-hand corner here, and we're just like, well, what are we going to do with this guy? And nothing until the point where he pulls the gun. You see, it wasn't really anything you could do until that moment. But now what are you going to do? What are you going to do in this instance? Well, she doesn't have any attitude, skills, or plan, so I would encourage, if you're in that situation, to just comply. But compliance doesn't mean you're safe. We see that right here as he muzzle strokes her with the gun. Her compliance did not make her safe. So we learned some things about transitional spaces here and being careful, especially around your car and around your door. We learn here that, you got to be ready, have awareness, but awareness by itself doesn't do anything. You got to have not just the attitude, but the skills and the plan to protect yourself if you're going to cover your asp.